regular culture गर्दाखेरि you will not get any organisms, okay, because they are mostly caused by virusले गरेर हुने भएकोले गरेर we do not see any microorganisms in culture. And associated most commonly with viral infections and is often self-limiting. अब यो aseptic meningitis को पनि we will have a separate class, and in that you will learn about this. These viral meningitis, they are most of the time self-limiting नै हुन्छ itself. They, as of other disease like अब consider corona पनि, coronavirus, they are also self limiting नै हुन्छ कसै कसैमा मात्र complications देखाउने हो. Okay, etiology of meningitis: bacteria, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Neisseria meningitidis, Haemophilus influenzae type B. These are the most common cause of bacterial meningitis. And Streptococcus agalacti, Serratia coli, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Mycobacterium tuberculosis are also other important cause, bacterial etiology for meningitis. In virus, you have Coxsackie virus, ecovirus, arbovirus, herpes virus, enterovirus, HIV, and many more. These all viruses, they can cause CNS infections, which is called as the meningitis, or sometimes they can also produce encephalitis as well. Fungi like Cryptococcus neoformans can cause fungal meningitis, especially in the immunocompromised host. Parasites like Trypanosoma species, Naegleria flori, these all can cause parasitic inflammations. And some parasites, they also can cause meningitis. Okay. Okay, now coming to the bacterial meningitis. Today we will only be talking about bacterial meningitis. As we all know that meningitis means inflammations of the meninges, and there will be abnormal WBC in CSF. Okay, so when you diagnosis of meningitis, whenever you suspect meningitis in your patient, the most important laboratory diagnosis depends upon the CSF culture. Okay, so you collect the cerebrospinal fluid and then do the culture. That is the most common and most reliable source for diagnosing meningitis. Acute meningitis will be, there will be sudden onset, there will be meningeal symptoms, there will be purulent inflammatory exudate, and wide variety of infectious agent. And usually these are these acute meningitis, they are caused by bacteria. You should remember this chart. यो chart को चाहिँ screenshot गरेर राख्नु भए पनि हुन्छ. This is taken from Mandel Infectious Disease book, and this is very important because यसमा चाहिँ we have divided the causative agents according to the age group. Okay, सबै age group मा same organisms may not be the common cause of meningitis. That's why you should remember the most common cause of meningitis in the particular age group. Like if they are neonates means less than 28 days of life. Okay, so of birth. So in neonates, the most common cause is the Streptococcus agalacti, E. coli, Listeria monocytogenes, and Klebsiella species. Okay, these are the most common cause of meningitis in neonates. In 1 to 2 years of 1 month to 2 years of age, Streptococcus agalacti, E. coli, Haemophilus influenzae, Streptococcus pneumoniae, and Neisseria meningitidis. These are the common cause of meningitis. In 2 to 50 years of age, Streptococcus pneumoniae and Neisseria meningitidis, these are the most common cause. And in elderly patient, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Neisseria meningitidis, the Listeria monocytogenes, and aerobic gram-negative bacilli. These are the common organisms. And remember that these Listeria monocytogenes, they are common in extreme of age group. Okay, both extremes, early in the life or in the later in the life. They are the cause for meningitis. In immunocompromised states or immunocompromised host, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Neisseria meningitis, Listeria monocytogenes, aerobic gram-negative bacilli, including Pseudomonas aeruginosa. These are the common cause. In bacillar skull fractures, a person who, let's say, suffered a road traffic accident, suffering a skull fracture, bacillar skull fracture. The most common organisms causing meningitis in these kind of patients will be Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae, and group A beta hemolytic streptococci. In head trauma or in neurosurgery patients, one of the common problem for neurosurgeons are the meningitis. Okay, so in neurosurgery patients or in head trauma patients, most common cause of meningitis will be Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, these are the almost covers most of the cases of meningitis after surgery, neurosurgery. They can be also caused by coagulase negative staphylococci like Staphylococci epidermidis, and they can be caused by gram negative bacilli like E. coli, Klebsiella pneumoniae. They also can cause meningitis in these kind of patient. Magnitude of problem, they are one of the very common cause of mortality worldwide. Mortality पनि गराउँछ, morbidity पनि very much problematic नै हुन्छ यसको. So it is a globally important disease. 1 million of cases every year and 2 lakhs deaths per year. Okay, so that this is quite high, and 3 to 19% of the mortality of suffered. If somebody suffers meningitis, then they have got high mortality. हाम्रो जस्तो country मा त the mortality rate can raise up to 60%. That means 6 out of 10 who suffer meningitis can die. Okay, so that is the actual scenario, and remaining also around in 54% they can have a complications. Okay, they can get complications like कसैमा चाहिँ अब some paralysis हरु हुने त्यस्तो complications हरु पनि देखिन सक्छ. अनि almost 80% of the total meningitis they are caused by Neisseria meningitis, Haemophilus influenzae, Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay, so हामीसँग चाहिँ अब vaccines हरु पनि छ like hip vaccines which prevents Haemophilus influenzae type B को infections हरु, pneumococcal vaccines हरु छ हैन. Due to these vaccinations, very effective vaccines, we have got very good coverage for these two organisms. So in global incidence of meningitis due to these two organisms, they are being reduced. Okay, now we are discussing common features of these three most common cause of meningitis like Neisseria meningitis, Streptococcus pneumoniae, and Haemophilus influenzae. These all three are capsulated. They are fastidious, they are delicated, they are capnophilic, loves carbon dioxide. They colonize in our nasopharynx. हाम्रो nasopharynx मा यतिकै पनि बसिरहेको हुन्छ without causing any disease. Mechanisms of to how they reach CNS is not clear. However, they are thought to be hematogenous route is one of the most common route भनेर चाहिँ भन्छ. And these all three they causes fetal meningitis. Okay, so these are the common features. Distinctive features ma Neisseria meningitis is one of the very important cause, and you should be very careful while handling these meningococcal meningitis bhन्छ. Meningococcals ले गरेर गराउने meningitis ma you should be very very careful. Okay, किनभनेदेखि these meningococcal disease can cause outbreaks. तपाईहरु expose हुनुभयो भनेदेखि you may get the infections as well. That's why if you suspect you attended meningococcal meningitis, then you need to take chemoprophylaxis. तपाईहरुले पनि जो contact मा आएको छ उनीहरुले चाहिँ chemoprophylaxis हरु लिनुपर्छ. So they are gram negative diplococci. Serogroups, there are more than 12 serogroups for Neisseria meningitis, and type B is the one of the most common. Okay, type B सबभन्दा common हो. त्यसमा पनि अरु भनेको A र C पनि common हुन्छ serotypes हरु. तर Haemophilus influenzae Neisseria meningitis को type B is the most common. A, B, C, these all three they account for more than 90% of the cases. And meningitis and meningococcemia यस्तो खालको जुन चाहिँ meningitis मा चाहिँ typical features के हुन्छ भनेदेखि there will be fever, there will be vomiting, there will be severe headache. These three are the most common presentations for meningitis. Okay, कुनै पनि पेशेन्टहरु चाहिँ fever छ, vomiting छ र severe headache छ भनेदेखि first thing you need to think is the rule out. The first thing you want to rule out is the meningitis. Okay, त्यसमा पनि त्यो तीनटा pictures छ र plus they have got these kind of rashes जुन हातमा अथवा खुट्टामा यस्तो किसिमको rashes छ र meningitis पनि छ भनेदेखि this is one of the common presentations of Neisseria meningitis. Okay, that's why you need to be very careful in these kind of presentations, and they can cause potential to cause large scale epidemics. जस्तो तपाईको चाहिँ अब हस्पिटलमा यो यस्तो केसेसहरु आयो भनेदेखि those who attended these cases they should take chemoprophylaxis. Usually rifampin 600 mg BD for 2 days लिन पनि सकिन्छ अथवा most easier is the ciprofloxacin. Okay, you take 500 mg start dose, एक डोज मात्र खायो भनेदेखि पुग्छ यस्तो किसिमको पेशेन्टलाई अटेन्ड गरिसकेपछि. Or you can take ofloxacins. I think you don't want to get injections of the ceftriaxone when you have options for the oral medicines. So you just take ciprofloxacins or ofloxacins अथवा azithromycin single dose खाए पनि हुन्छ. Okay, so that's how you can prevent the epidemics once you are exposed to Neisseria meningitis or meningococcal meningitis भन्छ यसलाई. अर्को भनेको हेमोफिलस इन्फ्लुएन्जा. दे आर ग्राम नेगेटिभ कोकोबेसिलाई पिलियोमोर्फिक रिक्वायर्ड X and B factor serotype. Hemophilus influenzae type B is the most common one, and 2 to 15% of the populations have these organisms in their nostrils. तपाईहरु पनि 100 जना विद्यार्थी वर्गको सबैको स्क्रिनिङ गर्यो भनेदेखि up to 15 जनामा चाहिँ हेमोफिलस इन्फ्लुएन्जा can be a nasal colonizer. नाकमा बसिरहेको हुन सक्छ. Okay, and the good thing about these is they are vaccine preventable. We have got very effective vaccines for hemophilus influenza. Another is Streptococcus pneumoniae. They are gram positive diplococci. 91 capsular serotypes are alpha hemolytic in blood agar. Okay, they when you culture them in blood agar, you will see alpha hemolytic and sensitive to optocin and bile solubles. I think you know these most of the things about strep pneumoniae from your respiratory system ma padeko belama. I think we have covered strep pneumoniae quite well. They affect extreme of ages, infants and young children and elderly. अब Listeria monocytogenes जस्तै Streptococcus pneumoniae पनि infants र young children र elderly मा they are more common हुन्छ. Okay, now coming to the pathogenesis. Pathogenesis तपाईले briefly यतिबाट बुझ्नु भयो भनेदेखि I think meningitis मा there is nothing that is most difficult. Okay, so there is nasopharyngeal colonizations. Nasopharyngeal colonizations भइसकेपछि local invasions हुने भयो which can cause bacteremia. Okay, so once they have got bacteremia, they can reach the meninges.
Slide is behind, sir.
Change भएको छैन?
छैन सर.
कहाँ पुग्यो?
यो इटायोलोजीमै छ सर यो मेनिन्जाइटिसको.
के गर्ने त? इटियोलोजीमै छ. डिस्कनेक्ट त भएको छैन त. हाँ?
चेन्ज भएको छ.
कसैको चेन्ज भएको छ, कसैको चेन्ज भएको छैन हो? प्याथोजेनेसिसको स्लाइड कसैले देखिरहनु भएको छ?
मेरोमा त देखिरहेको छ सर प्याथोजेनेसिसको.
सो आई थिंक कसैको नेट इश्यूज नै होला सायद. स्लोअर नेट भएकोमा चेन्ज भएको छैन होला. Okay, shall we wait till other slide also gets changed or we should continue? अर्को क्लास पनि छैन तपाईहरुको MBBS को? Okay, so let's continue. के हुन्छ भन्देखि ब्याक्टेरिया भइसकेपछि देयर विल बी मेनिन्जियल इन्भेजन्स. ओके, मेनिन्जियल इन्भेजन्स भइसकेपछि ब्याक्टेरिया रिप्लिकेट्स इन द सबएक्टिनोइड स्पेस. हाम्रो सबएक्टिनोइड स्पेसमा गएर चाहिँ ब्याक्टेरिया दे स्टार्ट मल्टिप्लाइङ. Once they start multiplying, what will happen? There will be release of the bacterial components, bacterial toxins, like cell wall बाट निस्किनेहरु, lipoligosaccharides, they all are released. अब त्यो रिलिज भइसकेपछि के हुन्छ? They can cause cerebral microvascular endothelium मा चाहिँ तिनीहरुले इफेक्ट गर्ने भयो. ओके, अर्को भनेको त्यसले मैक्रोफेज, न्यूट्रोफिल्स र अदर सीएनएस सेल्सहरुलाई पनि एक्टिभेट गर्ने भयो. Okay, your bacterial components are. So once they activate these all macrophages, neutrophils and other CNS cells, तिनीहरुले चाहिँ के गर्ने भयो? साइटोकिन्सहरु प्रोड्युस गर्ने भयो र that again causes cerebral microvascular endothelium मा गएर इफेक्ट गर्ने भयो. अब त्यसमा के हुन सक्छ भन्देखि एउटा चाहिँ इन्क्रिज्ड ब्लड ब्रेन बेरियर पर्मेबिलिटी हुन सक्ने भयो. ओके, सो ब्लड ब्रेन बेरियर पर्मेबिलिटी इन्क्रिज भयो भने के हुन्छ? देयर विल बी इडिमा. ओके, पैथोजेनिक इडिमा हुन्छ. अनि सीएनएस मा गएर चाहिँ इडिमा भयो भनेदेखि के हुने भयो त? देयर विल बी इन्क्रिज इन्ट्राक्रैनियल प्रेसर. ओके, इन्क्रिज इन्ट्राक्रैनियल प्रेसर हुने बित्तिकै के हुन्छ? डिक्रिज सेरेब्रल ब्लड फ्लो एन्ड लस अफ cerebrovascular autoregulations हुन्छ. So whenever there is decrease cerebral blood flow and increase intracranial pressures, what will be the manifestations? Severe headache with vomiting. Okay, that's why the meningitis patients will have vomiting. अर्को भनेको चाहिँ यो साइटोकिन्सहरुले सिधै पनि के गर्न सक्ने भयो भनेदेखि सबएक्टिनोइड स्पेस इन्फ्लामेशन्सहरु गराउन सक्ने भयो, which can cause increased CSF outflow resistance and leads to hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus हुने बित्तिकै interstitial edema हुने भयो, which also causes increased intracranial pressures. Okay, so that also can lead to severe headache and vomiting. So release of bacterial component in the CSF can cause cerebro microvascular endothelium मा गएर चाहिँ यो इन्टरल्युकिन 1 टिस्यु नेक्रोटिङ फ्याक्टर्सहरु रिलिज भइसकेपछि तीनटा कुरा हुने भयो हैन. हामीले अघि देखाएको एउटामा चाहिँ ब्लड ब्रेन बेरियर पर्मेबिलिटी बढ्ने भयो, which can cause edema, which can cause raised intracranial pressures, ultimately leads to decreased blood flow. अर्को भनेको subactinoid space inflammations also can lead to increased intracranial pressures, then decreased blood flow. Finally, they can cause cerebral vasculitis. Directly organisms हरुले चाहिँ cerebral को microvessels हरुमा vasculitis हरु गराउन सक्ने भयो, which can cause cerebral infractions. Cerebral infractions हुने भयो. Cerebral infractions भइसकेपछि again they can cause increased intracranial pressures and decreased blood flow. So these all will lead to the clinical presentations as headache, fever र neck stiffness. Tinta kura, you always remember that whenever you see a patient, these patients usually land up in emergency department. Okay, so whenever you are attending the emergency department and you see a patient with headache, fever and neck stiffness, these are the clinical trial for meningitis. Okay, always remember, always suspect meningitis at once. Then these meningitis patients will have altered sensorium, there will be seizure, there will be photophobia and papilloedema. Okay, these are the three clinical features and other features. So papilloedema pani I think you understand. Papilloedema bhaneko there will be edema in the हाम्रो जुन रेटिना तिर गएर चाहिँ edema हुन्छ त्यसमा. Okay, so त्यसलाई हामीले papilloedema भन्ने भयो. Ophthalmoscopic examinations गर्दाखेरि you can appreciate these papilloedema, and papilloedema always means that there is raised intracranial pressures. Okay, ophthalmic examinations garda pani you can see these things. One of the physically demonstrable symptoms of meningitis is the cornic signs. Cornic signs भनेर तपाईहरुले पछि clinical उसमा पढ्नुहुन्छ. This is very important signs. Severe stiffness of the hamstring causes an inability to strain the leg when the hip is flexed at 90 degree. यसरी गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ तपाईले यसलाई यो खुट्टालाई चाहिँ बेन्ड गर्न खोज्नु भयो भनेदेखि यहाँनेर चाहिँ स्पाजम हुन्छ. That is called the cornic sign. अर्को हुन्छ ब्रुजिन्स्की sign भन्ने. Another physically demonstrable symptoms of meningitis is the Brudzinski sign. Okay, there will be severe neck stiffness caused by the patient's hip and knee to flex. तपाईले यसलाई चाहिँ फ्लेक्स गर्नु लाउनु भयो भनेदेखि यहाँनेर नेक स्टिफनेस हुन्छ. ओके, सो नेक रिजिडिटी हुन्छ. That is a Brudzinski sign. So chronic signs and Brudzinski signs are two important signs that you can see that can give you hint of raised intracranial pressures and meningitis. Now laboratory diagnosis. I think for laboratory diagnosis what we need is the sample, and the sample is always the CSF for definitive diagnosis. Okay, CSF sample should be collected. अर्को sample तपाईले CSF सँगसँगै you can collect the blood and do the blood culture as well. Okay, किनभनेदेखि हेमाटोजेनेसली पनि जान्छ भने तिमीले हामीले organism, so you can do the blood culture. General considerations is isolations and identifications of the bacterial agent. तपाईहरुले चाहिँ main what you want to do is you want to isolate and identify the causative agents. अर्को भनेको तपाईले sample कति बेला लिनु पर्यो भनेदेखि you have to obtain the sample before you give the antibiotics because you want to do the culture. Once you give antibiotics and collect the sample, it is very difficult to isolate the organisms. तर नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा के हुन्छ भने हाम्रो जस्तो कन्ट्रीहरुमा नेपाल इन्डिया हरुमा के हुन्छ भनेदेखि patient will take antibiotics obviously. Whenever he has fever for one day, the patient might take antibiotic, हैन? त्यो भएर त्यस्तो बेलामा हामीले चाहिँ त्यसलाई त अभोइड गर्न सक्दैनौं, तर त्यस्तो बेलामा पनि स्याम्पल चाहिँ कलेक्ट गर्ने. तर once they reach your facility, you have to get the sample, obtain the sample before you give the antibiotics. अनि meningitis मा के हुन्छ भनेदेखि you cannot delay antibiotic treatment just to collect the sample. Okay, best चाहिँ you do the पहिला सुरु चाहिँ CSF पनि निकाल्ने, blood पनि निकाल्ने, and then you give your antibiotic dose. तर कुनै पनि कारणले गरेर if you cannot collect samples like CSF भनेदेखि you cannot delay your antimicrobial therapy treatment. Okay, it is a emergency. Okay, collections of the CSF. CSF is collected by doing lumbar puncture. You do the lumbar punctures. You have to maintain all the aseptic precautions before doing the lumbar puncture. Lumbar puncture गर्दाखेरि very sterile area हुनुपर्छ. You cannot afford to make the area dirty. Okay, किनभनेदेखि if you perform your procedures with contaminated environment, what happens? You are reaching the CSF of the patient, हैन? भित्रतिर गएर चाहिँ तपाईहरुले many structures you are piercing like skin, अरु fascia हरु, हैन? Then after you are going through the भित्रसम्म पुग्नु पर्यो नि. So यो गर्दाखेरि तपाईले you are reaching the CSF. अनि यो needle नै contaminated needle घुसाइदिनु भयो भने के हुने भयो त? The patient might suffer iatrogenic meningitis. उलाई meningitis चाहिँ थिएन, तर तपाईले गरेको पुरो प्रोसिड्युरले चाहिँ meningitis बनाइदिन सक्छ. That's why you have to maintain aseptic precautions. You always have to collect in 3 tubes. Sample collection meningitis मा सबभन्दा धेरै प्रब्लम भनेको के हुन्छ भनेदेखि तपाईहरुले चाहिँ इमर्जेन्सीमा you collect the sample in one vial. एउटा vialमा मात्र कलेक्ट गरेर पठाइदिनु हुन्छ ल्याबमा. अनि तर के गर्नुपर्छ CSF लाई हामीले we have to send CSF in 3 different places, हैन? एउटा चाहिँ माइक्रोबायोलोजी ल्याबमा पठाउनु पर्यो for doing culture sensitivity, अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ AFB staining, gram staining, India ink staining दुनिया थोक गरेर चाहिँ डायग्नोसिस गर्नलाई you have to send in microbiology laboratory. अर्को भनेको you have to send in biochemistry, sugar, total sugar कति छ, total protein कति छ भनेर हेर्नको लागि you have to send in biochemistry. अर्को भनेको you have to send in pathology, cells हरु कति छ भने. So you need to collect the samples in 3 tubes. जहिले पनि एउटा ट्युबमा लग्यो भनेदेखि त्यो माइक्रोबायोलोजी के डिपार्टमेन्टमा स्टक भइराख्न सक्छ अथवा प्याथोलोजीबाट चाहिँ अरु डिपार्टमेन्टमै पास नहुन सक्छ. So you give them all of them with one sample each. Okay, that's best way to avoid. You have to immediately transport the samples to the laboratory. CSF लाई collect गरिसकेपछि के हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ you leave the sample on the table for like 6-7 घण्टा 10 घण्टासम्म पनि त्यहीँनेर कलेक्ट गरेर राखे चाहिँ हुन्छ, तर it does not reaches the lab. त्यस्तो हुनु हुँदैन. You have to very invasive sample हो यो, हैन? You cannot just keep on collecting the CSF again and again नि, हैन? So you have to treat the sample. जुनै पनि sample precious छ भनेदेखि you have to keep that sample upmost priority मा राख्नुपर्छ. Okay, sometimes urine may not be that precious because urine can be collected without any invasive procedure हैन. तर when you collect CSF or when you collect a biopsy sample, okay, so these are the invasive samples, so you have to maintain all the standard the sample collection, transport and processing things for these kind of sample. And if there is probability of delay in the transport, you do not refrigerate the sample. यो पनि one of the mispractice हुन्छ. Sometimes कसैले चाहिँ CSF sample collect गर्यो भनेदेखि they keep in the refrigerator, okay, but that is not a good practice. Another is you have to avoid excessive heat and sunlight also, because there are delicate organisms which can be too sensitive to cold, too sensitive to heat हैन. त्यही भएर you leave the sample in the room temperature. Room temperature मै बरु छोड्दिने, do not refrigerate or do not keep it in the place where there is excessive sunlight. Okay, अनि lumbar puncture गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ जहिले पनि हामीले L3 र L4 lumbar vertebra को L3 र L4 को intervertebral space बाट चाहिँ you insert a LP needle हालेर चाहिँ you collect the sample. That's how you will collect, and this is the one of the most comfortable positions for the collections of the CSF sample. Okay, you ask the patient to bend the knee and bend his neck. Okay, neck stiff भइराको हुन्छ तर पनि सकेसम्म बेन्ड गर्ने, किनभनेदेखि you want to increase this intervertebral disc space लाई चाहिँ अलिकति ठुलो बनायो भनेदेखि के हुन्छ त, you can easily reach the भित्रतिर पुग्न सकिन्छ नि हैन. That's why you need to make this bend. अनि sometimes if sleeping positions मा सजिलो छैन भनेदेखि you can do it in sitting positions also. Sitting positions मा बसाएर ask him to bend. Okay, that is also another positions for collecting the CSF sample. Examinations of the CSF. Once CSF reaches the laboratory, there is macroscopic examinations directly looking the CSF, whether CSF should be clear like water हैन, clear हुनुपर्छ. तर if there is purulent pus छ भनेदेखि, धेरै pus छ भनेदेखि के हुन्छ त, thick pus नै देखिन सक्छ कहिलेकाहीँ. So that is a macroscopic examinations. Then comes the microscopic examinations. Microscopic examinations ma you can do gram staining of the CSF. You prepare a smear and look in the microscope. You can see organisms. For example, let's say it was a pneumococcus. Okay, pneumococcal infections थियो भनेदेखि के हुन सक्छ, you can see gram positive cocci arranged in pairs with capsular surrounding, right? That can give you hint of that the organism is pneumococcal. So you can start your antibiotics which can kill the pneumococcus. That's a preliminary diagnosis. Another thing you can do is you can do India ink. India ink गरेर चाहिँ के हेर्न सकिन्छ भनेदेखि not for the bacteria but for the cryptococcal meningitis हरुको लागि you can do the India ink. Okay, negative staining गरेर capsule demonstrate गर्ने. Then after you can do ZN staining. Tuberculosis छ कि छैन भनेर हेर्नको लागि ZN staining पनि गरेर हेर्न सकिन्छ. Okay, then after you do the culture and susceptibility test गर्न सकिन्छ. Okay, that is the microscopic examinations and processing in the microbiology department. अब अर्को भनेको biochemistry मा you can look for glucose and protein estimation. CSF मा how much glucose and how much protein are there भनेर you can look in the biochemistry department. अर्को चाहिँ हामीले pathology department मा पनि you can look for the cells हरु, अब neutrophils हरु छ कि छैन भनेर हेर्न सकिन्छ. Okay, so that can be done in the pathology lab. अर्को microbiology मा गर्न सकिने भनेको antigen detections पनि गर्न सकिन्छ. अनि limulus embossed lysate भन्छ, यो चाहिँ अहिले गर्दैन, पहिला पहिला गर्थ्यो. This is usually for the gram negative organisms हरुको लागि यो गर्न सकिन्छ. तर usually गर्ने भनेको antigen detections, culture र microscopy can be done in the microbiology department. Okay, so transport to the laboratory within 1 hour. You always transport the sample within 1 hour. 1 hour मा आको sample छ भनेदेखि first centrifuge गर्ने त्यो CSF लाई microbiology department मा centrifuge गरिसकेपछि supernet भनेको जुन त्यो माथिको portions, this यो test tube भयो भनेदेखि यो test tube को माथिको portion चाहिँ supernet भन्छ. So collect the supernet and do the immunological serological testहरु ल्याटेक्स agglutination testहरु गर्न सकिन्छ सुपरनेटबाट सेडिमेटमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ ब्याक्टेरियाहरु हुन्छ ओके सो सेडिमेटलाई you can make a gram stain and then look for the organisms you can make a India ink preparations and look for the capsules of Cryptococcus okay and sediment line you can do culture in blood agar plate McKenzie agar plate र chocolate agar plate तीनटा agar plate मा you can put the samples so that tomorrow you will get the microorganisms grown in that culture if they are more than 1 hour छ भनेदेखि चाहिँ हामीले ट्रान्सपोर्ट मिडियाहरुमा राख्न सकिन्छ इन्क्युबेट गरेर 35 डिग्री सेन्टिग्रेडमा इन्क्युबेट गरेर राख्नु पर्यो अनि त्यसपछि सब कल्चर गरेर ब्लड अगार मैकेनिकी अगार र चकलेट अगारमा राख्न सकिन्छ युजुअली दिस इज द स्ट्यान्डर्ड प्रोसिडियर्स दैट यू शुड फलो Okay, microbial methods ma centrifuge garnako लागि you have to centrifuge for 20 minutes and 2000 round per minute. Sediment lai चाहिँ अघि नै भनिसके we can use the sediment for culture and susceptibility and incubate in the primary culture media. Supernet lai you can use for antigen detections. Culture media ma अब blood agar, McKenzie agar, chocolate agar are the most common culture media अरु भनेको ट्रिप्टिकेट सोया अगार चकलेट अगार विथ हाइमिन्स र ब्लड अगार विथ स्टाफ वरियस स्ट्रिक अरु इन्फ्लुएन्जी को सैटेलाइटिज्म हेर्नको लागि गर्न सकिन्छ अनि अलवेज इन्क्युबेट देम इन 37 डिग्री सेन्टिग्रेड इन 5% कार्बन डाइअक्साइड कन्डिसन्स अर्को भनेको ब्लड अगार सँगसँगै हामीले सीएसएफ सँगसँगै यु डु योर ब्लड कल्चर एज वेल ओके यु फलो द ब्लड कल्चर एज वेल सब कल्चर गर्ने यही तीनटा भइहाल्यो डाइरेक्ट मेथडमा ग्राम स्टेन एन्टिजेन डिटेक्सन्स र लिमुलस एम्बोसाइट्स लाइसेटेसे भन्छ दिस इज नट दैट कमनली युज ग्राम स्टेन गर्दाखेरि यसरी माइक्रो अर्गानिजम्सहरु देखिन सक्छ यु क्यान सी ग्राम पोजिटिभ डिप्लोकोकाई इन्ट्रासेलुलर डिप्लोकोकाईहरु देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ ग्राम नेगेटिभ अर्गानिजम्सहरु देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ यसरी सो यो चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट ग्राम स्टेन गरेर फाइदा के भनेदेखि डाइरेक्ट ग्राम स्टेन गर्नेबित्तिकै यु क्यान सी हैव अ टेन्टेटिभ estimations जस्तो चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट ग्राम स्टेन गर्दाखेरि यस्तो किसिमको अर्गानिजम्स देखियो भनेदेखि यु क्यान से दैट मोस्ट प्रोबेबली द अर्गानिजम इज स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस निमोनी हो भनेर थाहा हुन सक्छ सो यु क्यान टार्गेट दोज एन्टिबायोटिक्स व्हिच आर भेरी इफेक्टिभ फर स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस निमोनी एन्टिजेन डिटेक्सन्स मा चाहिँ यही कमर्स ल्याटेक्स एग्लुटिनेसन टेस्ट गरेर यु क्यान डु द एन्टिजेन डिटेक्सन टेस्ट Okay, so this is a this is the cytological and biochemical evaluations of CSF. Our microbiology सँगसँगै you can do biochemistry test also हैन अब blood sugar level चाहिँ normally चाहिँ more than 60 हुन्छ okay acute pyogenic meningitis छ भनेदेखि CSF मा चाहिँ more than less than 45 छ भनेदेखि you can think that the probably it is a bacterial meningitis viral meningitis ma CSF ma sugar चाहिँ अलिकति हाई हुन्छ ओके तर प्रोटिन कम हुन्छ ओके ब्याक्टेरियल मेनिन्जाइटिस मा सुगर कम हुन्छ प्रोटिन बढी हुन्छ ओके ट्युबरकुलर मेनिन्जाइटिस मा पनि प्रोटिन बढी हुन्छ CSF सुगर अलिकति कम हुन्छ सो दिस इज द पिक्चर अफ डिफरेन्ट biochemical tests okay to estimation गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ डिफरेन्ट आउन सक्छ okay so this is the typical cerebrospinal fluid finding in the patients with acute bacterial meningitis मा के हुन्छ opening pressures 200 to 500 mm H2O भनेको CSF को प्रेशर चाहिँ बढी हुन्छ सुरुमै ओके यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले this is because result of hydrocephalus okay intracranial pressure raise intracranial pressure हुन्छ भनेको थियौ नि त्यो भएकोले गरेर सुरुमै तपाईको चाहिँ intracranial pressure हाई हुने भयो अर्को भनेको चाहिँ white blood cells हरु पनि धेरै देखिने भयो percentage of neutrophils more than 80% हुन्छ प्रोटिन बढ्छ सुगर घट्छ अनि CSF to serum glucose ratio less than 0.4 हुन्छ ग्राम स्टेन usually 60 to 90% of the time positive आउँछ culture 70 to 85% positive आउँछ PCR is promising but may not be affordable for our settings okay so that's all for फेज क्लास अनि ओके थेरापीमा चाहिँ अब अघि नै हामीले चाहिँ एज वाइज किन इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ भनेर भनेको भनेदेखि तपाईले त as soon as you send the sample you need to do the start the antibiotics and you cannot wait for culture report to come. So positive agent को आधारमा you can start your antibiotics in that age group. Suppose एउटा चाहिँ 10 दिनको बच्चा आएको छ भनेदेखि you can start the with ampicillin plus cefotaxime or ampicillin plus aminoglycosides start गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ to cover the those 4 organisms which are common in these age group हैन. अर्को चाहिँ 1 month to 23 months मा छ भनेदेखि vancomycin plus third generation cephalosporin should be given. Adult मा आएको छ भनेदेखि vancomycin plus third generation cephalosporin covers most of the stains. अनि more than 50 years मा छ भने पनि vancomycin plus ampicillin plus third generation cephalosporin दिन सकिन्छ. ओके अनि त्यही अनुसारले चाहिँ हेड ट्रमा को पेशेन्टमा चाहिँ स्टाफाइलोकोकस ऑरियसलाई कभर गर्नु पर्ने भएको भएर यु मस्ट स्टार्ट विथ द vancomycin. ओके कुनै पनि न्यूरोसर्जरीको पेशेन्ट्सहरु छ भनेदेखि यु हैव टु स्टार्ट विथ vancomycin. ओके सो द्याट्स अल फर टुडेज क्लास. अरु पनि तपाईहरुलाई फेरि मेनिन्जाइटिसको क्लास हुन्छ, भाइरल मेनिन्जाइटिसको छुट्टै छ र क्रोनिक मेनिन्जाइटिसको क्लास छुट्टै हुन्छ. अहिलेसम्म केही छ क्वेशन्स यसमा? असीमा काफले असीमा अर्पणा कार्की